Kale, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm great.
All the way from Maui to LA.
Yeah, culture shock.
I'm sure. And have you been to LA before?
Not like this, no.
Okay, because we've been, on stages?
Yeah.
Now we're here in Rodeo Drive.
Yeah.
Yeah? How's the vibe been for you so far?
Oh, it's so big. Yeah. Like, I didn't realize how country I am until I got over here. Like, wow.
Well, LA will definitely do that. You definitely forget where, it's actually important because you talk a lot about nature. So that's right. You kind of you can get a little bit lost here. And I think that's really actually part of the conversation right now is about how men these ages are starting to become a bit lost, and you are helping them find their way.
Yeah.
With Sacred Sons, of the work that you do. Let's talk about that. How did Sacred Sons get started? Yeah. And what is the work that you're doing now that you're so proud of?
Yeah. I'll keep it short. Like, the way the Sacred Sons had gotten started is there's two of the co-founders alongside of me that saw the necessary action for masculinity to show up to bring back the archetype of fatherhood and also to help women in their motherhood and to create the safe spaces that men always need to hold accountability and integrity to show up in a world where it's like, hey, if we're going to be busy this way, we're going to have all of these things that like the people that have come before us have shown to us, why do we not show up as men that have values that are aligned towards our communities, towards our families, to our children, and also how do we help each other with the wounds that we're carrying from our upbringing. That is what the organization is about, is to bring healthy masculinity into the world again, and so that we can make the changes for the generations that come after us.
Well, it's beautiful because, the family unit, right? Without a family unit, what do we have in the world?
Yeah.
And I've been seeing this often, right? Where, families are getting not only separated, but men are coming into these next generations maybe with not as much strength or guidance, right? From the strength of men and ancestors and grandfathers and grandparents. What do you see that's actually happening right now, and how is Sacred Sons helping to really shift
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah, it's such a great question because the first thing is it's not a concept. It's not an abstract thought. This is some real things.
Yeah.
If men are feeling depressed, they feel lost, they feel empty, they're distracted, they're being involved in so many different addictions towards substances or even with the digital, right? So what happens is because we haven't established ourselves in this culture to have a true standard and a code of operating, men get lost. So that's what Sacred Sons is here to do, is to establish that standard of rise. Yeah. Responsibility, integrity, service, and ethics. Oh, wow. That is the code. If you live by that code and through that standard, then you can take care of your family, you can take care of yourself, right? So if you're struggling with any kind of mental health and relational belonging, Sacred Sons allows you to have the space as men to come in to experience true brotherhood.
And how is Sacred Sons, what is it? It's a community, obviously, but you also have events. Like, what is it that you are doing? How are you bringing men in through coaching? Share more deeply about what you guys are doing.
Yeah, primarily the way that we operate is have been organic. But now me being here and having this conversation with you is about spreading this word, which is so important because it's we can always connect to nature when we allow ourselves the permission to be part of it. But if we don't do that, then there's distortion. And that's why people feel so heavy around spaces like this.
Yeah.
And that's okay because it's not about pushing that away from us, but it's about integrating what is the reality of our existence with other people that can share that reality with you, with meaning and purpose and understanding. So when it comes to brotherhood, we will call you out. We will bring you forward into accountability, into integration. And it relies on that standard. Are you a responsible man? Are you a man of integrity? Are you willing to hold yourself accountable? Can you be of service to your community? Do you have a code of ethics? And men have lost that.
Yeah.
And that's why we experience so much of our young men, like you're talking about, they are not initiated into adulthood.
Yeah.
And that is the purpose of what I do as a co-founder of Sacred Sons alongside my brothers, Neil and Adam, is to initiate young men and to initiate older men into the responsibility of being a father or an uncle or an elder. It requires that right now because we are so lost upon being a consumer. That's our least appreciative identity. Our most appreciative and sacred identity that we can hold is having the responsibility of a beautiful burden and carrying that alongside other men that are willing to give you that. Because the most sacred thing we can do is to protect our children and to protect our wives, our aunties, our mothers, our sisters. So that's what we're here for Sacred Sons to do. So this is an invigoration and an energy that requires a lot of men to step forward into the ceremony of their own life. And that's what I talk about. Ceremony.
Yeah, I love that. Will you address CPR? I know you just spoke at a stage at the Wild X event, and you shared with everyone CPR. And it hit everyone so well because it literally is, it's so basic yet so profound.
Truly.
Right?
Yeah, so one of the pieces about CPR that everybody's so familiar with is that you get trained in saving a life, right? Somebody's asphyxiated, they're in a life-threatening situation, so then you give cardiopulmonary resuscitation. However, the same is true for culture. If a culture is dying, doesn't know how to breathe, doesn't initiate, the different life stages, to come into adulthood and elderhood and to care for the families and those who are coming next, then there's a need to have CPR, which is ceremony, prayer, and ritual.
Yeah.
Those three words are not just a figment of your imagination. It's not just a concept. It's the actual thing you need to do. So us with Sacred Sons, that's what we create. Spaces for people to have ceremony, to have those prayers and those rituals. And I don't talk about it as if it's like a spiritual preference or like a religion. I talk about it as an ancient technology of guidance and protection and purposefulness for our community. And that's what we need here. We have millions of people in our country. And I am one that believes in the purposefulness of having our country prosper.
Yeah.
So the way we can do that is providing areas for diversity to show up and unity amongst our people. That's what I'm here to do.
Well, I love it. I love what you do with Sacred Sons. And thank you for bringing that awareness. Because, you mentioned religion. I think often when people do hear CPR or, with a prayer, they're thinking religion, right? And that's where I believe that oftentimes we sway away. It's like, no, this is grounded roots. This is what our ancestors, this is like praying to nature, praying to God, right? Whatever your religious beliefs are. But it's really praying to yourself.
Yeah.
Right? It's
because God is in you, Creator is in you.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you said that, because the purposefulness of having ceremony, prayer, and ritual is not you are dictated upon the conditioning of some kind of authority.
Yeah.
It's just freedom.
Yeah.
And with freedom comes responsibility.
Yeah.
If you have the responsibility as a man to know that freedom requires your dedication and your devotion to take care of what? Your family.
Yeah.
And your community.
Yeah.
Primarily is that. So no matter what anybody else tells you, you know inherently as a man what's wrong and what's right. It's in you already. It's in your biology. So if you are a father or you want to be a father, this is the direction that we need to have. It doesn't require you to involve yourself further than just what is purposeful in your life to take care of and protect those that you love, because they love you back. That is what I'm trying to invigorate. So the main thing is unity. Through the unity, either you believe in something and you rise to that occasion, right? Like I said before, responsibility, integrity, service, and ethics. Or you fall away because you got confused. This isn't about confusion. This is about direction. Healthy masculinity needs to arise in our communities again, because when the women feel that, they feel safe. And when we feel that from them, we get supported, and now we can be who we need to be. That's what we do.
Yeah, I love it. Where can they find more about Sacred Sons?
Yeah, we're always online, sacredsons.com. We can always put out there what it is, like, I could say, the calendar of the events that we have. But most importantly, what people to know is that we work with women too.
Yeah.
We help them to understand what men are going through so that they can witness that and move through their own wounds about the masculine. Because that's who we are. Like, a lot of the things that women are struggling with is because men have been absent, they've been predators, they've been perpetrators, they've been the things that are going on. So what we do is we're solving problems. So the most important thing I want to share to the women that are listening is that we have a lot of events that invite you to be a part of that experience, where men and women get together, we can process.
Is there another event that's coming up in California very soon?
April in San Diego, we have a summit. Brian and Rhonda Swan are going to be there. They're going to be speaking. Exactly. And this is why we are collaborating, is because we see you as a powerful, amazing woman that is continuously not only networking, but showing an example of women of how to be powerful and to stand in their boundaries and an understanding where there is a necessary voice that comes from a woman who can be in her power and express it.
But also lean back into their softness with their male.
Well, that's the part of it, right? Is when you're able to speak it and have been witnessed that without having to tell you what it is, then you can take a step back. But this is where we are, is we need women to express themselves first for the men to see what that is. Because the most involved thing that I've ever had to do in my life was to witness my wife giving birth. Right?
Yeah.
And so that is where I am. It's like I witnessed that, I see that. There's nothing I could do but witness the ceremony that was taking part.
Yeah.
So when I see that, now I have myself come into protection and providing in service towards the creation of that life. So when women really express the hardships of what they're going through, men will want to show up because there's a lot of good men.
Yeah.
We're just quiet around ourselves.
They just need a little support.
We just need a little support.
That's it. Thank you so much for the work that you do. And audience, look up Sacred Sons. The work that they are doing is changing lives, including mine, including my relationship with my family. So thanks again, guys. We'll see you on USA Today Network, and we will also see you on LA Weekly and Fox 5. Don't forget to be unstoppable and stay wild. We'll see you next time.